You will never be able to move forward in life so long as you hold on to your resentment. It's important that you recognize it and spend time introspectively trying to let it go. Welcome to McBain Moments. So, resentment is one of those things that is hard to really describe. It is anger mixed with disappointment, mixed with a fear of future loss. And I know that's not the technical term for it. I neglected to look up the actual definition, but I know that those are the key elements of it. There is nothing more destructive than resentment. See, anger can be destructive, but it's usually over in a flash. It's short-lived. Disappointment can be destructive, but again, it's something you usually get over within a reasonable amount of time. Resentment is deep-seated. It digs into your psyche, and it grows like weeds. And so, it's one of those things that you need to be aware of, especially when you resent other people, especially when that resentment's around someone you love, and be able to express that resentment and talk to the person about it. And maybe talking about it isn't going to get rid of the resentment, but at least you'll be able to work through some of the factors. The last thing you want is for it to be embedded in you like a ticking time bomb. And resentment can be about any number of things. It can be about the way you were raised. You could resent your parents over the way you were raised, or you can resent a child because of a hard pregnancy or childbirth. And it may not even be that person's fault. But it doesn't mean the resentment doesn't exist. It doesn't have to be logical. It can exist. And so, one of the things that you should, if it's something that someone did, try to get their side of the story. You don't have to accept it, but it's important that at least you understand their perspective. And then if it's something they can't control, you have to look yourself in the mirror and go, look, I understand that this upsets me, but there's nothing they can do about it either. So by doing this, it'll help you to overcome those barriers, because everything you resent in life is a roadblock to your own path forward. Every ounce of resentment you have in your heart, in your mind, is a roadblock to you more than it's a roadblock to anybody else. Because as you get toward the next step in a goal, you might run into one of these people. And it might even be a brief interaction. But you'll feel that resentment bubble up, and it's going to bring your mood from here, the mood that you need in order to succeed, to here, or maybe to here. And then your brain isn't in it anymore. And because of that, your heart's not in what you're doing, the good things you're doing, and you end up failing at it. And again, that doesn't mean you don't have the right to be upset at them for something. You don't have to like a person. But if you let it stew, if you let resentment build, then all that's going to do is roadblock yourself. So, if someone wronged you, try to resolve it with them, if it's resolvable, or at least let them know why you're upset. Find out if there is a way that they can put it to rights with you, or if the two of you can come together to a conclusion that puts it to rights so that the resentment goes away. Or find a way to release the resentment. Forgive them, if at all possible, for those things that are forgivable. And if there's something that is truly unforgivable that was done, cut them out of your life. Because all holding on to that is going to do is hurt you. It's not going to really hurt them. Or if it does hurt them, it's going to hurt you more in the process. And so take the time, try to figure it out. Uproot the resentment. Spray weed killer on it. Get rid of it. Cut it out of your life. Resentment is the most destructive thing to your success. Because you'll get up to a point, and then the resentment will come out, and this will happen. Whether it's in your mood, it'll come out at a critical time, you'll have an important meeting, you'll have an important interview, you'll have something come out. And it'll be obvious. And even if it's not obvious, that's because of resentment. Whether it's, it may not even be resentment to the people you're dealing with immediately, but they'll see a downturn in your mood, or a downturn in your ability to answer questions or handle what they're looking for. And so you'll lose the opportunity. Don't let resentment build. Figure out the source of it. Do your best to resolve it. Let it go. That is the only way you're going to move forward. Don't forget to take a moment and subscribe. This has been a McBain moment.